tempted to do the raw as well. Ladies and gentlemen, some say that it came from an old Aztec recipe that was 4,000 years old. Some say it is a symbol of the diversity in Cape Town. And then some say it is the reason for the passion gap in Cape Town. Ladies and gentlemen, we speak of the beloved Koesister. Please, thunderous round of applause for making it over this morning. Friends, family, honored guests, young chefs. That's the spirit. These are arguably some of the most important people in the room. Everyone else, journalists, and everybody that has made this possible. Indeed, a huge pleasure to have you in the room. I am Kurt Schooner. I'm going to be your host this morning. We will kind of guide you through the program. We've got a fantastic program lined up for you. We want to try and keep it short and sweet as possible so that you guys can enjoy what we are here for anyways, and that is the honored Koesister this morning. Ladies and gents, it is only customary for us to kick off with the person, the pioneer, the guy, the family that has made all of this possible and has seen a gap for it. This institution now is 6 years old, if my memory serves me. 6 years old. It's taken a bit of a hiatus during the course of COVID, of course, and we're back with a swing, and we're clearly back with all of you in the room. I need you to welcome him on stage with the love and the warmth he deserves. Please welcome onto stage the one and only, the entrepreneur, the ninja over here, Marc Jacobs. Please welcome.
It's been 3 years that I've done something like this. So after departing from Funny Cup in 2022, I didn't know what direction to go, but I knew that I had to take Koesister with me somewhere. I didn't know how long it would be, I didn't know when it would be, but nearly 3 years later, I'm really excited about what we're doing right now. So essentially when we started about Koesister Day 2019, the ASA was our first Koesister winner. And in 2020 we had fastest Koesisters. Unfortunately he couldn't be with us today. But then of course we had COVID and then everything just went sideways from there. But the essential goal around Koesisters was, I think it's 2018 when I heard Nigel Pierce say on the radio, why don't we have something that's special to us? Why don't we have something that's our own? And it was Gatsby's and the Samosas and everything else. And when we said World Koesister Day, it just resonated strongly with me, and I called into the radio station and I said, Funny Cup will do World Koesister Day, and then we launched it in 2019, and the rest is history. But essentially what this means to me right now, under the new company that I started three years ago, we are proudly, it's how do we take youth, hospitality and tourism and create something fundamental and sustainable around that. And the Koesister for me is the one thing that I can put anywhere in the world, and it's a Koesister. I keep getting upset about it, but I don't know why it's a Koesister. You can't be upset about anything with Koesister and coffee involved, you know? And then I think the strategy for me was then, how do I take it one step further? And I think installing it within the youth in hospitality and tourism opens up a whole host of other opportunities for our youth. I've aligned myself with strong players in the game that allows for people like James Fox to come to do events like this. So I think it's a progress of 3 years of strategic placing, what you can do with nothing, no budget, just like a doctor and ability to say, I can, I will, and I'm going to do it. And this is where we are today. So essentially what today is in the launch of where we bring our youth into Cape Malay, into the indigenous component. We'll have one guest speaking about the indigenous component, which is Spectrum. We're talking about Cape Malay, which is Chef Khairu, who is ninja here at Sun Square, and I want to say thank you to them for this venue as well. So Chef Khairu will just speak about her Cape Malay roots and what she's doing within the industry as well as kitchen manager of this venue. And there's just all those other people that will just be adding their value and insights into what we're trying to achieve for the next 11 months. So we take this youth on a journey that's competing today and build up in this sustainable ecosystem, supplying Koesisters into the industry, hospitality and tourism, and making the world place about who we are as people. Thank you very much.
That even the humble Koesister has come with some diversity challenges as well. Because some people, if you Google Koesister, they'll tell you it's an Afrikaans plaited pastry that came from the Dutch streepkuchen, which means sugar cake. And we know that that's not always the truth in its entirety, because there's a whole Cape Malay side to things, and this is the one that I think we are here to honor today. Having said that, I do think it's important to point out that the diversity in the space is extremely important. I myself am a Koesister. Let me explain. My surname is Dutch, so I'm the streetkuchen on one side, and then I grew up in Warm Estate, where I spent a large amount of time in a Cape Malay space and in a Muslim space, where that Koesister is an exceptionally important part of. And the difference for some of you that are looking a little confused, because I can see some confusion right now, the one's got coconut and the other one does not. I am the one with the coconut. I'm the coconut Koesister. Right, and you know, also I think the Koesister lived in the shadow of its famous cousin, the samosa, for a long time. And you know, Mondays to Saturdays, the samosa was always top of the pops. But on a Sunday, the Koesister, it's time to shine, right? Because I remember living in Warm Estate. On a Sunday, you would find the Muslim boychies dropping off the barakat for the Christian and the Muslim neighbors. And that, like the month of Ramadan was a special time for us. I had the pleasure of growing up over there, so I always knew when Ramadan was. I live in Observatory now, not so much anymore. But it was always such a special space and a special time for us. And the Koesister represents exactly who we are as Capetonians. And you know, those Sunday mornings, I don't know if we have a lot of sushi people in the room. When you're eating sushi, it's not just, if you take just the nigiri, or you take just the sashimi, it doesn't taste so lekker on its own. You've got to almost combine the wasabi and the soy sauce and the pickled ginger, and then it's like an orchestra of fantastic goodness that happens. Right? Koesister is exactly the same thing. The Koesister on its own is fantastic, but when you have it with a sip of coffee, right? When you have it with some coffee, and not any fancy bougie coffee, I'm talking about Rick coffee. Don't look at me like you don't know what I'm talking about. We used to have that, a sip of Rick coffee and a lekker Koesister. There's only one way to describe the gastronomical orchestra that happens there. It tastes like my brew. That's what it tastes like. It tastes like my brew. And that's a very, very important part of all of this. And I think this is what we're here to celebrate. I'm going to call on Marc to assist me a little bit with